frame, you can see Diddy, and he comes running down the hallway to stop her from leaving. It's crazy because he's wearing a towel, and that's it. And so he was in a haste to make sure that she didn't leave. Now, in the next scene, you can see her getting ready to get on the elevator, but because she's hunched over, she doesn't see that he's probably on her tail, which is totally understandable because she was trying to get the heck out of there. Now, while she's hunched over, Diddy does come behind her, and he proceeds to strike her very hard.
Crazy part about it is she posted this years ago, and nobody batted an eye. Nobody questioned her or nothing. That's crazy. That's why I said I believe everything she said.
Y'all, did y'all see that video of Diddy beating Cassie in the hallway? Like, we been knew this stuff, but to see this 8 years later is crazy. The hotel had to be paid off because they held this video for 8 years, and this girl is being kicked and dragged in the hallway. It's so nasty. What you got to say now, Miss Mama's caveman boyfriend number one? What do you got to say now, mini-me, small fry? What you got to say? You've been cosplaying as a loser, abuser, and freaky frog for years. And let's see you post another Tybo video of you working out defending this man too. Or are you going to have another fake gospel concert in your studio? Let us know what you going to do next. And all the Diddy defenders in the comments talk about he innocent until proven guilty. Well, is this enough proof, losers? Everybody not lying on this man. They've been talking about this man for 40 years. And if this is true, that means everything else in that lawsuit is true. And it's all about to come out and y'all about to look even dumber. This is really sad, and I feel so bad for Cassie. This is sad. Put this bad boy in a bad jail immediately.
Besides the thing that is going on with Diddy, because Diddy was the type of black men that the industry needed, that would go above, even beyond, to protect his own ego, morals himself. He would use anyone on anything to get to the top. It doesn't matter if he's doing the bending or he's bending somebody else. It doesn't matter if he's the one shipping people or he's the one instructing people how to ship the very people that he's been instructed to ship. It doesn't matter if he's cosplaying as a friend to Biggie. It doesn't matter if he's gonna use his death as a come up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is how far are you willing to go to get your $1 billion status? How far?
When it comes to celebrity mess, it's too much going on, bitch. I got my own shit going on, so I stay out of it. But girl, tell you, if I don't learn how to read a bitch like 50, I don't want it. Girl, 50 is funny. Who raised him? Because he is hilarious. 50 Cent responds to Meek Mill defending Diddy and his son. Stand by your man. I respect that. Why does man say you so can't copies your last project? You should not be on vacation. He like, what is the girls doing on vacation when they should be working? Girl, 50 is funny, but wait. Stop there. He said, you still chasing the dream and embracing the nightmare. That is some nasty work right there. He said, standing by your man, I respect that. 50. Y'all better leave this man alone.
Because the industry, like we've been seeing, is corrupt. It's corrupt. It's either you've worked with someone or know somebody that's doing something, and you can't because you're tied to the same contract. So your bosses probably know about the very same thing that you know. So this is why people end up going crazy, because you realize just how deep the rabbit just keeps going.
Honestly, I have so many thoughts after seeing the Cassie and Diddy video, but I will say this. My heart truly goes out to Cassie because she has had to relive this probably so many times within her healing journey, right? And then the lawsuit, everybody talking about it. Everybody talking about it. Now this footage and everybody's reposting it and talking about it, all of the things. Having to continuously relive it has got to be so difficult. So my heart goes out to her. To see it happen took it to another level. Like, to hear about it, to read about it is one thing, but to see it happen and imagine what wasn't caught on camera. It breaks my heart for Cassie and every other woman that has experienced anything remotely close to that. I have been in situations where physical abuse was a thing, a regular thing. Smacked dizzy, literally dizzy, slammed, knocking the wind out of me, being spit on, like spit in my face, laying down pregnant, sleeping, and a whole jug of juice is being poured in my face, damn near drowning me, waking me up, and then some. I'm talking about in the emergency room, lying to them, telling them that I got jumped, when the whole time the person that brought me here, making sure that I tell them the right lie, is the one who did it. I've been through that. I know so many women have been through DV. And I really truly want every woman to get out. To see Cassie happily married with her family makes me so happy. To know that she is in good hands now. Like, he seems like a very good man is what I like to see for my girls. Is what I like to see for my women. Yeah, I think it's over for Diddy. I think there is no way he's ever going to be able to get back from this. Ever. Because Cassie did not come to play with Diddy. And she did not come to play with y'all speaking bad about her name. Because, baby, she released these videos and they are damning. CNN was able to obtain these videos, obviously, through Cassie and her legal team. And in this 2016 video, Cassie and Diddy were at a hotel. And she's seen leaving here with her bags and this oversized hoodie. And then the next frame, you can see Diddy, and he comes running down the hallway to stop her from leaving. It's crazy because he's wearing a towel, and that's it. And so he was in a haste to make sure that she didn't leave. Now, in the next scene, you can see her getting ready to get on the elevator, but because she's hunched over, she doesn't see that he's probably on her tail, which is totally understandable because she was trying to get the heck out of there. Now, while she's hunched over, Diddy does come behind her, and he proceeds to strike her very hard. So much so that she doesn't even get up to move. I mean, she was winded out of that strike that she proceeds to just, well, basically lie there. And in the next image scene here, he's dragging her back to the hotel room. He grabs her belongings. She had a duffel bag and it looked like a tote bag, and he just drags her back. Now, I don't know what is the purpose of why Cassie released these videos. I don't know if it was a part of her legal strategy for other victims, which it seems that's what it was. But nonetheless, there is no way he's going to be able to get out of these images now being seen by everyone. Looks like it's over for P. Diddy.
She has every right to do what she's doing. She has every right to defend herself. She has every single right, and I support her whatsoever. And I'm sure she has more, because she would not leave that house unprepared for what is to come. Because if I were her, I would do the same thing. I'd bury him. Like, strip him off of everything that he holds dear, which is his power. Because he doesn't even give a damn about the kids that he breeded. Yes, breeded, because it's literally that. He lies. He manipulates, he controls. And he wants things done in his way. He doesn't do this to just men. He do this to women as well. The things that he done upon her body and in the bodies of other women and other men, and how much is willing, like, these men be willing to do anything for money, and they say, wow, these women are gold diggers. You, sir, you are willing to bend over for another man, you, sir? And you want to come here and act traumatized and act towards women and act some type of way, but it's another man who traumatized you. Another man did that to you. But I digest. I hope that Cassie gets what she deserves. I hope that this year becomes a year of revealing more and more stuff, and it doesn't end with just I feel in my gut feeling that this year is not gonna be a good year for many people, because Hollywood is gonna be drowning, and the things that they used to do in the dark will come out to light. Every single thing, from human trafficking, smuggling people, to tours being used as a coke distributing platform.
Everyone in this man's network knows exactly who he is, which is why you should be wary of people who continue to like fraternize with him. Not just this year, but like the last 15 years. Okay, this photo that I used in the beginning was taken 2 days after that video. It was taken at the premiere of the movie A Perfect Match that Cassie was starring in. This is them at the premiere 2 days after that. A lot of people worked together to make sure that the star of that film didn't have a scandal, didn't have a crisis 2 days before the premiere of their large investment. You try to escape as your abuser is sleeping, and he chases you down the hallway, and 2 days later, his brand is sponsoring its premiere. He probably is a producer of it at this point. How do you get out? Who else attached to it would want to help you get out in those moments when you are now the liability? You are the one thing that's going to rock the boat for all of their investments. I also like to look through Getty and see what else was Diddy up to. If he's not smiling at a premiere, was it even a fucking smile? I don't know. What he's not eye twitching at a premiere, 2 days after beating that woman in the fucking hotel hallway. His next 2 months were business as usual. At the end of March, he's on Fallon, hanging out and smiling because, again, everyone knows, that talent booker has a list of people who are not ever allowed to be on that show. But he's not one of them because everyone knows. Next month, he's hanging out with Naomi Campbell, who, like I said, beware of those who fraternize with him. Beware of those who can maintain without issue, long-term public relationships with someone who has a well-known reputation and well-known history of alleged violence within his industry, in his inner circle. I'm old enough to remember her reputation and also her rebrand as someone who is similarly in tune with earth and nature and love and community and building, which, like I said before, is a tell. 2 months later, in the beginning of May, Diddy and Cassie are in Atlanta, as is Lorianne Gibson, the Making the Band choreographer. If you scroll through my Diddy playlist, you will see some commentary about this past relationship. There are, in my opinion, some parallels here that I think are worth surfacing. In 2007, so 9 years before that photo was taken, Lorianne filed a complaint with the NYPD alleging that she was assaulted by Diddy and also allegedly assaulted by Michael Bivins of New Edition. The complaint details an incident that happened in front of MTV cameras, some of which aired the part that showed the argument between the three of them, and also the men beginning to approach and follow Lorianne as she walked out of the room. The cameras cut did not show the men catching up with her or meeting up with her and use that as a cliffhanger, but in her complaint, she details what she says happened. She alleges that the men were yelling and cursing at her when she told them that the dancers didn't have enough time to practice, which again aired and is on my playlist. But then that Bevins allegedly grabbed her while Diddy picked up a chair allegedly and threatened her. She said she was able to break free from Bivins, presumably, tried to run, and then he grabbed her once, then Bivins grabbed her once again. This was reported on in the news. It was reported on in the New York Daily News. I say was past tense because the article doesn't exist anymore. And of course, MTV never aired the actual footage. Not sure if the footage of two men allegedly following a woman after an argument to then allegedly assault her also disappeared in the same fashion as Cassie being followed and then assaulted in that hotel video did. Lorianne's lawyer at the time gave a quote to the New York Daily News saying that the NYPD, I guess from their view, was still trying to get copies of that footage from MTV, but at the same time, the NYPD here said that we investigated it, we saw it, and nothing's wrong and case is closed. Unsurprising. Anyway, MTV, of course, is owned by Viacom, who also owns BET, which is the same channel network that gave this man 16 years after that incident, 26 years after his New York City club shooting, a 30-year-long career that has well-known open secret undercurrent of violence and power, a Lifetime Vanguard Award. An award, if I remember correctly, in which he used the speech for it to shout out both Lorianne and Cassie in very strange, weird, coded fucking language. 3 months before Cassie introduced her suit against him. Years after their breakup, she now has a husband and children, and this is happening 90 days basically before she files her lawsuit. Something he undoubtedly is aware that is coming.
Lorianne Gibson, keeping me free. Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
course, I want Diddy under the jail. Anybody that would dare try to make excuses for him, who would try to associate themselves with him, I think should be canceled. What he did was reprehensible, vile, disgusting, despicable. But I just saw this article from People magazine where it says that Diddy paid the security team $50,000 for that video in 2016. So for the person who had that video the whole time, did the money run out? Did you try to ask him for more and he didn't give it to you? And that's why you finally put it out? You could have saved that woman years of what you already saw was abuse. The people who sit around and watch people get abused, and here they come 20, 30 years later, like the situation with Aaliyah. People who heard things and allegedly saw things, now they want to start talking about it. Now you want to talk about what you saw R. Kelly do. Now you want to talk about what you heard Bill Cosby do. Now you want to talk about how you knew about Kevin Spacey,
All the
allegedly.
time.
Like the people who
All
knew.
the time.
And then, now all of a sudden they want to come forward. Those people are not heroes. They enabled those people to continue the cycle of abuse by not saying or doing anything. $50,000, that's all it took to sell her out?
From your Beyonce's to your Jay-Z's, they knew what Cassie was going through. They knew. They knew, okay? They knew. Beyonce went again and her husband invited this very same man, knowing exactly the type of man he is. But I guess the brand Carter is more important to Beyonce. I mean, her brand is more important to her than anything. I mean, maintaining the public image that she's squeaky clean, she's a princess, she doesn't do anything wrong. No shade to Beyonce, by the way. But it's just they knew. A lot of people knew about this very same thing. It's best you remain quiet. I'm glad she remained quiet. It's quiet. She's not talking. Good. Do not say anything. You weren't talking before and you're not talking now. So she knows a lot of things that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to let us know about until the very end. And then they take opportunity for their own agenda. You get my point. You get what I'm saying. So for me, I don't idolize anyone. I don't look up to celebrities. I don't think there's anything I can learn from them because anything I've learned from them, I've unlearned. I don't think it's an industry in Hollywood that you just pop in by prayers and chants. It doesn't work like that. The 99.9% of it being true is slim to none.